So a theme that you'll notice from my takes on trades is that I love it when teams actually do something, right? So they recognize that they've had stagnation or they've been doing something similar for a while, and so they just take a swing. And that's why the Kyrie Irving trade, despite the fact that I'm surprised that it occurred and we know what the issues of Kyrie are, um, I'm at least inspired that Dallas chose to do something, right? So we've talked a lot about Luka and how there's all this legacy that's building and, high caliber player and, windows, you never know how long they're for, take advantage of it. So they have. They've put another player next to Kyrie against Luka that has proven already that he can help them when Luka is out. That already upgrades the team, right? Because Luka deserves some rest. I think we don't need him playing 82 games in a season. And in a playoff series, he's going to have an off night or someone's going to figure him out defensively. So they've taken a step. But here's an angle that I actually am surprised no one talks about. And it's probably because it comes with giving up assets. But Dallas was locked into a lot of money, right? So we've talked about that. They've got some bad contracts on their book, and they got rid of one in Spencer Dinwiddie, but they're still stuck with the Davis Bertans thing. But they've picked up a contract that, let's say Kyrie decides he doesn't want to stay in Dallas for any reason. Have they not, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, have they not actually just opened up 30 million of luxury tax space, salary cap space next season, right? Yes, they gave up a first round pick. Yes, they gave up Dorian Finney-Smith, etc. But are they not A, taking a swing saying, what can Kyrie prove in a short window? But B, like now we have cap flexibility again that they wouldn't have had until two more seasons away.
I feel like you should have done your own research on your own hypothetical question there, right? Because if you think I'm the NBA salary cap guru here, I have no real idea. However, I think Dallas, well, I don't know. Well, I'm thinking that they were already over the salary cap. And they, like you said, they haven't shifted some of their bigger contracts. I think Bertans is one that sits on the bench and just does really literally nothing for them at this point. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. obviously is another huge contract on that team. And I think Christian Wood obviously is looking for an extension, next year. And he's obviously had a fairly reasonable year before going down with injury recently. So I don't think there's probably enough. And look, again, someone could have done their research here before throwing this topic at me, right? But I don't think there's enough for a max pat player. I don't think there's any talk here that if Kyrie walks, that I don't think there's enough space here for a max player to come in. But look, I could be wrong. But look, I guess it definitely does give them an option that if Kyrie doesn't resign, that they can look at who is another option that they can pair next to Doncic here. But look, I think, again, so many question marks there. Anyone's guess which way this goes. I think everyone's got to just have to see how this plays out, right?
I think I think it's just more exciting, right? I think we kind of assumed that, like, let's assume Dallas has a repeatable season as they do last. They eventually will go up against the eventual finals representative that is a better constructed team. And obviously the Kyrie addition just gives them an X factor that perhaps is enough to propel them over, perhaps it's not. But I think it's just also like, I mean, for me, it's just nice when teams try to do something instead of just settling,
Yeah, I'll pull out a
right?
few.
And
I pulled up a few numbers quickly for you. All right, Kyrie's salary is at 38 million. All right, just shy of 39 million, and they're over the tax at the moment of 24 million. So that opens up them about a mid-level exception there of about 15 million if he walks. I guess they can look at something there. Like I said, Tim Hardaway Jr. is just under 20 million, and Bertans is the big one at 16 million. Christian Wood at 14 million, but Christian Wood's probably looking for an extension. So he's probably looking for closer to that 20 million mark. So they're going to buy into that sort of that space that they have if Kyrie walks.
that's the thing, right? So a lot of these teams they make like I mean, I thought about it with Westbrook, for example, right? Like Westbrook's money, like to I think I read the article correctly. Utah, when they buy him out, it's the remaining of the contract. They're not paying out the 40 something million that he's owed for the season. They're paying out what's left on his contract, which now is only about 13 million. Right. So it to me, it's kind of surprising retroactively that teams don't make these trades a little more often to get them out of sticky situations with contracts. Because Dallas was really locked in. Like they were really the same team for almost 2, 3 years running here. And now all of a sudden this has shifted their thing. Dorian Finney-Smith, great piece for what they had. But, you wonder if in a little bit of time here, it's a classic case of sometimes people succeed in a system, right? Especially their second round picks. They succeed in a system and then when they go elsewhere, you just don't hear about them again. The Spurs were huge on that back when they had their 2010 era, where, Gary Neal is a player that always pops in my head. I remember him being huge and hit so many threes, and then he got a big contract elsewhere, and that was it for him. And you hear about those players, and the players that Dallas gave up, not really too good of a deal. Draft picks are a bit useless for a team like that when you know Luke is going to carry it to 40 plus wins every single season. So, I think it's just that they took a swing, and good for them.
I don't think I can fault this deal, and I agree with you that it's good that they did make a move. We had a pod and take earlier in the year where they needed to make a move and upgrade their roster to see what would happen. This obviously rocket them into championship contention. No one can really answer this at this point. It's probably solely upon the greatness of Doncic and how much he can elevate his game come the postseason. Who knows? Okay. I guess with one of the biggest benefits here with this trade is that they do have a superstar now. If Doncic sits, if he's out for a few games and he's injured, I think they were previously like an 0-7 record before Kyrie came in. And I think that game Doncic sat, they actually won. I think that's the first game they won this year without Luka playing, obviously, when he was out with a minor injury or something like that. So I think that's a huge upgrade, obviously, Kyrie over Dinwiddie. No one's going to argue that, I think, as well. I think at the end of the day, though, yeah, look, this group here, Kyrie sort of has already given the hints, I think, and I think if anyone's paid attention to this, that he says he wants to be embraced, not accepted. Isn't that what he said in this post conference? So hey, look, hey, Mark Cuban, give out some love. Dallas fans, give out some love. And I don't know, I think there's already at least play half the league here that doesn't want Kyrie, that would not consider signing Kyrie. They simply would not take him for his personality. Others would not take him because they don't fit the timeline that they're looking for. They don't have no need for a point guard in that sort of sense. So I don't think his options are extremely broad. Okay, I don't know. Maybe the Lakers jump to mind. That they're always looking to try and pair Kyrie with LeBron. Everyone wants to talk about that. But if the Mavs give Kyrie some love, there's probably a greater chance that he sticks around and continues to play next season with the Mavs too. I think that's probable.
Yo, this is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.